Hi friends, this is part 3 of steps or keys to prosperity. I'm not an authority on everything, but talking about money is something that I've dealt with over the years in business. The reason why I had to find creative ways to stay in business when companies would become delinquent and wouldn't pay. I started a business in San Francisco, a nurse's registry, and people would think hospitals, they have money, they have lots of money, and yes, this is a hat, by the way, and yet, not my hair, and yes, they pay on time, but that wasn't the case when I started business. I would send nurses out to convalescent homes, and on every shift, and these convalescent homes would not pay. Major medical centers would take up to 9 months to pay, and the nurses that worked with my company, which was a corporation, they would not. They did, when Friday came around, they wanted their money. They didn't care if I was able to collect it from the hospital or not. I mean, I was literally under so much stress that one of my eyes, this was back when I first began business, and I started business over 33 years ago when I was very young. My eye would swell up from the stress because every Friday, all of these nurses, they were RNs and LVNs and CNAs, they were there wanting their money, regardless of whether I was able to collect it from the hospital or not. And I was a single mother, and I had 2 small children raising as a single parent. But let's backtrack. The way the business began. I was in a relationship that ended, and I found myself in a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house with no furniture because when we split, he took all of the furniture. He gave the police the receipts to the furniture, even though I helped pay for the furniture. I guess he had been through this before. He showed the police the receipts. So here I am. I was a nurse, and I normally worked at ICU at the local hospital. Night shift, day shift. I worked 2 jobs. And I also worked at the VA hospital on rotation as a pulmonary nurse. Well, we had 2 BMWs, a house full of furniture, my children and his children, was a blended family. And we broke up. So here I am, no bed. He even took my clothes. No clothes. 2 children, 2 young children, 5 and 6 years old. Nothing. He even took the dishes. He left me a plate. He left me a gown. He left me a dress. We had 2 BMWs. He took the cars and all the furniture. I have a sheet. The kids had a twin bed. He left the twin bed for the kids. I had a sheet, a phone, and the floor. And rent would be due the next month. No car. So we lived at the top of the hill. And in order for me to get to work, I would have to drive to work. I had no money. I had no way. The bank account. We had, and with ladies, always keep a separate bank account. We had a joint bank account at Wells Fargo. So he froze the account, took all the money. I had nothing. And what could I do? I won't mention his name, but he was a record executive, a powerful record executive. And I had just divorced my husband and got into this other relationship, I thought things were fine. He was producing all of these top artists whose names I won't mention. We had gold records on the wall. His office, he had platinum and gold records. He was managing all of the big names in the industry. I was writing music, and he was shopping it to whoever. And he also owned a publishing company. Let's get off that subject. So here I am. Rent will be due a couple of weeks, and I'm stuck. I have a little food in the refrigerator. What I did, this was before all of the, huge credit card industry, where people charge everything. So what I did, I called up my friends that were nurses, and I asked them if they would be willing to go into the hospitals for me temporarily. So I got all the proper documents, all the proper insurances and whatever, and I started sending nurses out to the hospitals. I didn't check credit. I did not. I just went ahead and sent the nurses out. Is that them? No, excuse me. Just went ahead and sent the nurses out and trusted everybody. Well, some paid and some did not pay. So I'm just sorry. I hear the word mom, and I'm like looking. It's not my, not my. So. Yeah, it's painful to talk about, but this is where I learned from experience. What I am going to share with you is something you cannot learn in school, and it comes from years of trial. I'm near school. It comes from years of trial and error. So I am, every mistake there is, I've possibly made it. And I've learned from everything. My degree was in nursing, not in business. So my crash course in business was trial and error. So that's why I'm going to talk to you about prosperity and the things that I had to do. To be honest,
first one there with nobody else in there, so it's done already.
You guys, we're going to talk about this in part 4, the keys or steps to prosperity. See you the next episode.